Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Get Brand's Rants. So, again, trying to keep that trend of shorter videos, but basically, I'm going to try to keep this one kind of brief and to the point on a very particular thing that I've found or movement I'm coming across here that is actually making me feel very, very, very hopeful. And it's basically General Strike 2020, and you can go to genstrike.org. It's GENSTRIKE.org, and basically it's a kind of new organization, basically kind of putting together a lot of from the fact that with the pandemic and everything else, there's been a lot of strikes going on, which is great. Yay! You know, more labor is organizing themselves in, what sometimes is called wildcat strikes, which are basically considered illegal strikes, which of course, the irony being that, people are considered forced to work whenever they are under conditions of absolute duress and coercion. So anyway, the organization here is basically just trying to put together as much information so that everybody throughout the country, especially while we're all socially isolated, there's basically one website. They have a ton of information from pretty much all over. And they are doing actually a really great thing. They're preparing for doing some action on May 1st. So definitely check that out. It's hopefully it'll be big. I think it will actually be very big, but I definitely wanted to kind of broadcast that out and really help signal boost for them, because I think this is really good. I think this is really important and is really gonna make a difference in terms of power. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So, especially today, again, I don't like talking about certain authoritarians who are trying to directly get people to go out. I mean, look, I've spent most of my life being a hey, everybody get out into the streets and protest person, and then we're in the middle of a pandemic, and the people who are actually going out into the streets and protesting are the wrong. No, it just the wrong everything. And it's right wing. It's right wing protests, and of course, that should be a warning sign to all of us that the right wing is still organized. They're still, pushing their agendas, and Donald Trump is the president, and Mitch McConnell's still in charge of the Senate, and so governmentally, the banks are 100% in charge. The religious right is 100% in charge. So there's a lot of bad stuff happening. But this is the other side. This is the good stuff that's happening. And I really charge everybody, responsibly, morally, however, at the very least, sign up, get information, and get plugged in, just to see. I mean, I'm just looking at their website right now, and so right here, what they have with recommended actions. So number one, they have signal boosting. Even if you can't strike, demonstrate, donate, or volunteer, there are still ways you can help. Signal boost the movement by sharing on social media, right? What we're doing right now, writing articles, videos, live streaming, podcasting, or talking to friends and coworkers as much as you're able. Follow hashtags, hashtag General Strike, General Strike 2020, Rent Strike, Rent Strike 2020, Care Strike, and Corona Strike. Number two, they have Don't Buy Anything on May 1st. So that's specifically just as much as we can. If you have any, grocery shopping or anything else that you need to do, if there's anything else you need to accomplish, try to take care of it either before May 1st or wait until after. But May 1st, kind of setting that day of don't spend money on anything. Number three, they have donating money, goods, and services to striking workers. If you can't strike or demonstrate directly, you can donate money to striking worker relief and hardship funds. So that's really important. People who are striking aren't making money because they're not getting their salary. So therefore, or their salary, wages, whatever you want to call it. So that's important. Support mutual aid networks. This one's a big one for me, and I think that's actually, in terms of building infrastructure for any sort of movement that we're doing, even if General Strike isn't where we end up as a movement overall. But the mutual aid networks are vital, in my opinion. So it says here, there are people in every community who are desperately in need of money, food, and other goods and services right now. Mutual aid networks have been springing up everywhere to provide this relief, and they could use your help. Before you donate or volunteer, make sure the organization will support workers, disabled people, elderly, and other vulnerable people directly, and make sure the values of the organization line up with your own. You might want to make sure that the organization is not affiliated with any for-profit entities and that they're grounded in inclusive and humanitarian principles. So, for example, there was a great piece today that I just saw on, it was an ABC affiliate, talking about the Maryland Food Bank and what they're doing. Maryland Food Bank's great. I've talked about the fact that Baltimore Safe Haven is doing stuff here. Food banks in Baltimore, any food bank, maybe not any food bank, but most food banks, food banks in general, good. Homeless shelters, big, are really big on that. So anyway, that's on Support Mutual Aid Networks. Slowdowns. So it says slowdowns are actions where workers intentionally reduce productivity to limit the amount of money an employer brings in with the intention of reducing or eliminating the amount of profits that are made off of our labor. Just like sickouts and strikes, these actions require organization and planning, so get help, don't act alone. Sickouts demonstrate at work, and labor striking, tenant organizing and rent striking, debt striking, and then other demonstrations and organizing options. So anyway, there's a ton of options here, that they have. Again, it's General Strike 2020, genstrike.org. I'm not gonna really push anything beyond that. I think it's really important that we unify. And it's not a unification where, again, all of the, big talk is all about wait until November and then unify behind Joe Biden. Unify here. Support in whatever way that you can or feel comfortable. You don't have to like a particular politician or anything else. You don't have to like a particular method. If you're very against strikes in general, there's still a lot here where you can support people. Again, the mutual aid networks and the supporting strikers, making sure everybody has the resources that they need, those are big. And then again, even just signal boosting. Get at least, 3 other people to check out the site, look at it, and subscribe on it. Really, that's the best we could possibly do. So that's all I got for you this week. So thanks again. Like and subscribe if you like the YouTube channel. Check out my website, getbrandsrants.com, for some of my other videos, or to check out some of my written pieces. I actually haven't done a written piece in a while. Maybe that'll be a goal of mine for this week. Specifically I'll do about this. Anyway, thanks again. I hope you have a great week. All right.